Hello everyone. Today's video is about organizations and organizational development and alignment. Just a quick brief to catch up with what we talked before was Simon Sinek's golden circle approach, where we have three layers, starting from the reason why, the reasoning of the human brain, and emotions, which is about intrinsic motivation, worldview, your beliefs, purposes, and causes. Like, it's all about why you're acting, what drives you to move forward, what is your motivating factors, because each of us have different ones. So when we talk about organizations, when we talk about organizational development and creating impactful organizations, it's always about the cause. It's always about motivation, what drives you. Because quite frankly, everybody knows how they do stuff and they know what they do stuff. And quite rarely people know what is the reason, what is the cause for that. So that is motivation, what drives you. The how part, again, is about processes, actions that you take in order to perform something, your habits, your systems, your routines, what makes you different from the other products, principles, methodologies, designs, the way you act or approach things. And lastly are products, the things that, or services that, the things that you do, activities that you do, and what you develop and what you sell. So all the results, tangible manifestations of your why. So be it organizations or business or just self-representation, it always goes from the circle center to the outer circles. Why you do something, how you do something, or how you make sure it's done, and then what you're doing. With this in mind, we go deeper into what is or how we can more accurately design our organizations when the time comes, be it as a manager, as a project designer, manager, or a creator of organizations. And in this case, I would like to introduce you NLP, one of the NLP authors, Robert Dilts, who developed and created neurological levels. It's a diagram, a framework that allows to foster alignment, to align your why with how and what. With that in mind, moving forward, Robert Dilts' neurological levels is a model, a framework that provides you understanding and alignment with different aspects of individual as a person, because as you will see later, there are different aspects, levels, and layers that each of us have. Same goes for organization, inside climate and culture, and the same goes for the project. Because project in short is a business that has the end, some kind of activity or activities and deliverables that has to be developed. And yeah, it creates a powerful tool for organizations, a powerful instrument for growth, for internal satisfaction, for the members, for the team, people, for organizations in different levels. So this is mostly about alignment when there is a conflict, when there is lack of clarity, when there is confusion of where going, what going, and also in marketing. It all goes down to that, how aligned your communication and culture is. Yeah, so in practice, the way it goes is from the bottom to up, whereas we first analyze environment, then we go into the behavior levels, capabilities and skills, beliefs, values, and identity. From bottom to up, we do kind of a reflection when we answer these questions, where we act, what we do, how we do things, why we do things, and who we are, who's doing those things. And beyond us, there is a mission, like why again we are here, what's the purpose of all of this. So from the bottom up, we kind of do a reflection and assessment evaluation of where we are, what is going on. And then from the top to bottom, we do an alignment. With the highest level, strongest level of the reasoning and motivation, we align all the following levels, layers down. And great is if nothing has changed from the bottom to up and from the top to the bottom. Although very often it happens that there are some changes, that top mission, purpose, aligns your identity, who you are as an organization or individual, what you should believe or what should be your values, skills, what you should know and able to perform, your behaviors, how you should supposed to be acting or behaving, what should be your traits, and then your environment, internal or external, be it your offices, your factories, where you work. External environment is how you act in the outer world. So that's briefly about the framework. It's widely used in personal development, in NLP coaching, with clients, business, therapy. It's also used in the business world, be it organizational alignment, small or big teams, corporates, for communication, marketing, just to be sure that everyone is on point and thinking the same things. Further on, I will walk you through each of the level, explaining what each of them means more precisely probably, and adding a small case to understand what it means if it's aligned or not. First, we are starting from the top, whereas we have a mission, answering the question why we're here, our mission or purpose, why we're here. It's the highest level of reasoning, because, well, quite frankly, when we wake up from the bed in the morning, we always think, why should I go out? Why I should move, and so on. Why I should work in this company? Why should I do this business? And why I should buy this product? It's especially common for the Generation Z, also millennials, and that's actually a great trait, because then you understand from the bottom, from top to bottom of your thinking where you want to go. So when it is aligned, it's about clear mission. It's about driving innovation, driving purpose, driving alignment, consent and agreement in organization. It's harmony, it's balance between everybody. Whenever there is misalignment in organization or a team, that's all that as a result you have lack of direction. As a result you have uninspired people, uninspired work, routine work, even though. So when person knows his purpose, his mission, even routine work seems purposeful, having meaning. If a person doesn't know the reason why he's doing what he's doing, he often says, doesn't mean to me anything, it's routine, it's not who I am, it's not what I want to do, it doesn't give me any joy or sense of purpose, aka I don't change the world, right? And that's why leaders of organization mostly have to communicate over and over again what's the purpose, what's the mission of organization, what's the meaning of what they do, why they're doing this. Great example of that is Tesla and Elon Musk. He paid a lot of attention to convey his message to his teams, to his companies. Tesla's purpose is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, and the outcome of that is revolutionary electronic vehicles and energy solutions for the world. So that goes from the cars to the houses. It goes also to alternative energy sources from batteries, panels, and so on. Same goes to the Virgin brand with Richard Branson. In his book, if I remember correctly, Naked Business, he says that whenever he starts a new company, he always finds one person to whom he conveys the purpose or the mission of what he or the vision of what he wants to achieve, and he allows that person to act further on. And that led him to create several hundred companies, successful companies. And obviously this kind of model does work. Moving further on, we talk about identity. Identity is also very strong trait, characteristic of person. When we talk about psychology, it's all about who we think we are, or who we think we are not. I think in that case, it's easier to think about that. So that identity can be you are a brother, you are a sister, you are a student, you are a worker, you are a man, you are a woman, you're Lithuanian or any other nationality. You always sense who you are when someone offends not you as a person, but something that you represent, part of the group, part of the club, or part of ideology. And that is when we sense that we are part of that, we are that. So this is about identity. Those who identify themselves with the company, they have strong, innovative culture. They feel aligned, motivated, and they feel excited coming to work and working, doing what they like to do. And that gives them purpose and satisfaction to their work that they are doing. Then, if we talk about misaligned identity, if there is no identity within the company, organization that people are working in, or activities that you are doing or they are doing, there is resistance. There is resistance to whatever is being presented, to whatever change, to whatever updates, to whatever new things introduced, or even the ones that are existing there. There is huge fear of failure, and in general, there is lack of confidence, and sometimes people can even go to the active disengagement and even sabotaging the company because they simply don't feel like they're contributing. They don't feel like that they belong to the organization or the team, and that leads to different negative examples. Speaking of examples, Google's 20% time approach, whereas the goal was, or the policy of the company was that employees spend 20% of their time doing something that they enjoy or they like to be doing. And identity-wise, a company, they had a culture, identity of company of innovators, meaning that they look for innovation, they find some things that they give them joy, and they try it out. That led to the innovation in the Google itself. Thanks to that, we have now Gmail, we have Google News, we have Google Ads as well, and many other successful products that born from this policy, from this exploration of hobbies, interests, and whatever is interesting for any worker, employer, team member in the organization. As we move forward, we talk about beliefs and values. Now this, I guess I need to explain more clear about what are values. Values are things that you value most. Friendship, purpose, commitment, discipline, freedom, excitement, enjoyment, happiness, and so on. So like things in your life, what you like most or what you value most. Values are changing based on the context. And it's always good to identify your values when you talk about organizations, about the work that you want to do. That allows everyone to work in their organizations, teams that gives most joy, enjoyment, and purpose and satisfaction. The same goes for beliefs. One of my core beliefs when we talk about the business is that there is always a way to every problem. There is always a solution to every problem or a challenge, and that there is always a choice. There's always a choice in every situation. This is great examples, or this is one of the examples how it looks, things that you believe in. And beliefs are actually leading your mindset, your approach in many things, how you approach problems, how you approach conflicts, how much you're innovative, open-minded, and eager to take risks, and all the other traits. When there is alignment in the organization in terms of values and beliefs, there is valuing of creativity, there is higher risk-taking, there is higher rewards in this risk-taking. People are again, enjoying more what they are doing. It's easier for them to convey, to communicate what they want to do, and there is less of the conflict in terms of communication and working in teams, be it in office or online. When we have situations where beliefs and values are misaligned, then we have prioritization problems. There is short-term gains over the long-term innovation. People focus on what's important today, now, and they don't pay attention to what their effort or their goals, where it could lead them in the long term in several years, instead of the focus on today, this month, or even this week. Example of that is 3M, which had a belief that innovation is essential for growth, and this belief led to the consistent product innovation, development of new ideas, new products. Thus, we have now post-it notes, which is very common in every event, training courses, educational events, and even just working. Alternatively to that, we have a Scotch tape, which again became part of our everyday activities whenever we need to stick something, right? And we never thought that these things were developed based on the fact that people just thought that that innovation is essential. All right. Next thing that is important are capabilities, knowledge, and skills, which is how we do things, what we need to know or be able to do in order to achieve our purpose or our goal. Whenever we think about alignment of our knowledge, skills, capabilities to perform our activities or develop products or services, it's about developing and nurturing creative skills. It's about developing innovation, problem-solving skills. Whenever it is misaligned, whenever there is, let's say, too much variety or no complementary skills or profiles among the people, then we have lack of resources or training for innovation. There is just no interest in learning something new. There's no interest in adapting, evolving, and simply trying something new. So in the end, evidently, it leads to the stagnation and the failure of the company and products. Example of that is IDEO's design thinking approach. I mean, this is example not of misalignment, but aligned capabilities and skills. Capability that they had was human-centered design methodology, right? They were focusing, just like Amazon, on humans, on the customer, how they think, what they want, what are their interests and pains. And based on that, they designed their methodology. And now we have many innovative solutions from IDEOs across various industries. So it's not only one or two great products. It's an approach that serves for the organization every day. Next are behaviors. Behaviors, here we split into internal or external. Behaviors mean that how you behave with yourself. What is your self-talk, ideas, thoughts when you are alone or in your organization, how you act in the office, your traits, behaviors, how your values, how your identity is reflecting within the team, how you express yourself. At the same time, external behaviors mean that how you act outside of organization when you are maybe not so much bound by the office environment or when you are out there in events or meeting the clients. How's your ethic, your body language, dressing code, and so on. One, behaviors are aligned. There is encouraging experimentation and idea sharing in the organization because everybody understands where they are going. what is accepted and what is not accepted. Here goes very strongly the management systems of the organization, leadership systems, and so on. When there is lack of alignment in terms of behavior, there is punishments, there is anxiety, there is toxic environment, there is punishment for failures, there is discouragement for ideas, for new ideas, for self-expression, suggesting something new. In general, it's kind of toxic environment where the hierarchy or the structure and keeping the positions are more important than achieving the goal or being innovative organization and team. The example of that is Pixar's Brain Trust. I mean, the great example of that is Pixar's Brain Trust, where behavior is regular, candid feedback sessions, meaning that whatever is happening in the meetings, in ongoing activities, in work, everyday situations, there's always welcome feedback. It is simple, constructive, without any elaboration or unnecessary how would express it, exaggeration. The outcome of that is consistent and high quality, innovative animated films, innovation in the industry, and the way they are doing their things. Lastly is the environment, again, internal and external, answering the question where and when we are doing. Internal means that how you dress, how you look, how looks your office, furniture, environment, interior, be it your office, be it your factory, your garage if you're working from garage, and so on. External environment is which places you are going most frequently, whom you are meeting, how you are dressing, and which places you visit most frequently. Does that align with organization that you are working in? When this is aligned, there is a workspace, there is a culture of conducive to creativity. Everybody feels like they are home, they feel comfortable, they feel safe. It's easier then to express themselves as team members. Work is flawless and simple. When there is lack of alignment, things are quite rigid, anxious, stressful, uninspiring. That leads to work environment where people just don't want to come. They try to avoid in all possible means, and if they need to come, they of course come, but that doesn't give them joy. When it comes to the examples of aligned organization, that is Zappos open office layout. An environment here is designed to encourage interaction and idea sharing, right? So when we talk about organizations, it's not always about the product, it's not always about the mission and the people, it's also about how we feel in our environment. Does our environment where we are foster our creativity? Does it foster our collaboration? And does it motivate us to work and to do what we like to do? The outcome of that is improved employee satisfaction and innovative customer services and approaches. Quite general, but as long as it is serving our organization, especially when it is satisfaction of employees, it's very, very important. Now, as we enter the end of this presentation, you have a home assignment, which is applying in practice your neurological levels understanding. That gives understanding for me and for you how much you get and comprehend the idea of neurological levels. If you need, you can always come back to this video at specific moments to review it. As of now, I'm gonna share a file for you to fill in. There is step-by-step each neurological levels each neurological levels category. And what you need to do, you can either choose shared the co-living organization as your project that you're working on, or any other organization that you have worked before, or you just know really well, or at least for the sake of practice, to fill in that organization available materials and information from their website, maybe social media and other sources that they are sharing. What is their purpose? What is their identity? Who they are? What they believe? What they value most? Their skills and capabilities? How they are doing things? What they're doing? Internal behaviors and external behaviors, and of course, environment, where everything is taking place. So this I'm going to share in below in description or in the Teams, and you have to upload it also on the Moodle. If any questions, feel free to ask me and approach anytime. Thank you for your attention, and see you in the class.